Thank you so much for coming, Cack. I know it's been a bit of a long haul. We had a few stops and starts, but here we are, and I think very interesting audience. I was wondering, what is it that an entrepreneur needs when they come in to present to you for you to actually be interested? Is it talent? Is it skills? Is it a presentation? Or some sort of potent thing that gets you interested?
Yeah, and I think there are really two parts to the question, Pamuk, because fundamentally, I mean, an entrepreneur needs to know why they're coming to scale, right? So I'm mid-stage enterprise investor. I don't do seed stage, I don't do consumer, I don't do growth rounds. And I think what you often find is entrepreneurs that come in to pitch haven't always done their homework. And what they have to understand is, there's sort of the right investor for the job. And so just at a base level, I would say what I'm looking for is someone to sort of fit in our box. So if our box is Series A, Series B, enterprise investing, I mean, we're talking you have early customers, you probably can claim that you have early product market fit, and you're coming to us and you're saying I need money from you because I want to scale my business. So that's just baseline. So 50% of the companies that come in the door, I probably meet with them, I might say it's a little bit too early, it's a little bit too late, this isn't quite a fit for us for these very specific reasons. I'll be very clear about it. So once you sort of slough all of those away, and in many cases I'm keen to meet the entrepreneur early, so it's not a wasted meeting, but it just might not be a fit right now. So once you slough those away, then I think what I'm really looking for, especially at mid-stage, is it's not enough to say that you're the right guy or the right gal for the job. We're not taking that risk of, is this going to work, is it not going to work? The binary risk. We're taking the execution risk. Are you going to be able to make this happen? And what I want to see is the market is big, even more so than the people are great. Because the great people will have made it through the seed rounds and the Series A rounds. By no means am I saying that I don't consider backgrounds, but when you're investing at the B round and you're saying we need to invest in execution going well, and then ultimately, this company getting big and going IPO or an M&A, we need to see a big market. So you can't be trying to focus on a small feature that will eventually get tucked in, because that's just not going to generate the kind of returns that our LPs, have invested in us to deliver.
So are there particular domains that you're pretty passionate about?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you look at my background, and I'm a firm believer that from the beginning, not everything is chartered and makes sense. You talked about you've lived all over the world and done various things. Same here. I think if I look back on my career, the thread that I can draw is data. So I worked in investment banking, but I was focused on enterprise software. I then went to Oracle. I sold database software, right? So data at the core. I then went to Cloudera, which is distributed systems, Hadoop, but fundamentally it's how do you store data, what do you do with data, how do you make use of data? And if I look at the investments that I've touched since I've been at scale, a lot of them have been data related. So databases, ETL, the whole sort of middle tier between where you store your data and then where you use your data, how can you solve the problem, that middle problem? And then some of the visualization analytics and such. From there, I've fanned out to what I would broadly consider anything consumed by an IT buyer. So that's as distinct from someone heading HR or as distinct from a consumer. So someone in IT, a developer, a security professional who's providing the tooling upon which applications are built. So I would say broadly that's where I get excited.
And as regards the founders, is there a particular criteria, or do you look for how you feel and connect with that entrepreneur? Because I know it could be a very long relationship, correct?
Yeah, people joke that a founder, it's like a marriage, and it's worse than a divorce. You can't really divorce your investors. So yeah, camaraderie, chemistry, just a sort of general intuition on a person is important. I think that's more important at the seed and Series A. At the seed level, your really earliest stages, the founder really is looking to the investor for advice and counsel and guidance and what should we do here. At the later stages, we are a peripheral part, but we're not in the day-to-day. I'm not saying it's not important, it's probably less important. What I'm really looking for is the logical background that says this is the right person to be building this company. and add the timing element in it too. Like this person had enough background, spent enough time doing X that she is the proper person. And then a lot of it is the founders. It's and the people around whom that they've surrounded themselves with. Because if you can't hire great people, you can't build a great business.
So tell me, do you have an interesting or funny story, just to finish the interview, that you could share with us as an investor?
An interesting or funny story. One thing I would say is, so we have entrepreneurs come in all the time, and you sort of get this facade. You get the pitch facade where we're in the big boardroom and they're on their best behavior, and it's terrible if the founders don't get along. They always do. But what I'm always surprised is after the entrepreneurs have left, often I ask the receptionist, what'd you think? And I do the same for when we interview candidates. And, it's almost as if our receptionist is a Lyft driver where you just assume that they're not paying attention. And our receptionist will overhear all sorts of things said in our common area, or as they're entering the meeting, or as they're leaving, or just the manner in which they interact with Joanne and Jamie. And it's an instant red flag to me if Jamie or Joanne surface something to me that's like, that didn't come across in the interview, because, I have to hold my entrepreneurs to a high standard, and all the time, not just in the meeting with us.
Yes, I know VCs are sort of like the hot girls at the party, they often say, and obviously you're not seeing the real person when they're trying to woo you or flatter you. So that sounds like a really good second backup, really.
Always, yes. Joanne's our go-to, yeah.
Thank you so much, and I really am looking forward to this chat. I think it's going to be really interesting.
Thanks, Emma.